Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to PMQs. It's a Wednesday, of course, in that circus, that rat-infested green bench place called the House of Commons. You're live with the wonderful Rogue and myself, Richie, this morning. Hope you're all well.
You're wonderful too.
Am I? Oh, thank you very much. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Thank you to all our new subscribers as well, and our membership. Our membership is growing as well on this channel. Thank you ever so much, and thank you for all the comments and all the love and all the feedback, all the emails, all the support. Don't forget, we're on Substack, we're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on so many different platforms. Just search Richie and Rogue, you'll find all the platforms on there.
Yeah, exciting times. Fine, you've got an eyelash right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's in your glasses. Yeah.
Okay.
How interesting. So PMQs. What do you think is going to happen today? Is Kemi going to hold him to account?
No, she never does. She's shit.
Well, sometimes she's been really good, and others, I've sat there and just thought, why am I watching this shit?
Well, because we're broadcasting this shit. That's why.
Why? I need to be there. I need to be holding him to account.
They'd kick you out like Dennis Skinner.
I know, they'd kick me out.
They would, yeah. We got one of our guests on today, our good friends, Callum Smiles from Voxpopuli as well. So he's going to be coming on to talk about today's proceedings. So we're going to bring him on, and then we're going to actually have the kind of what goes on before PMQs, which normally is they talk about the devolved governments, right? So Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and all that kind of crap. So we're going to bring Callum on. I'll see how he's doing. Callum, how are you, mate?
Now then, you're right.
Yeah, good, mate. You keeping okay?
I'm not too bad. Yourselves?
Yeah, well, good, thank you. What do you reckon? What do you reckon is going to be asked today?
Oh, it's all going to be about Iran, isn't it? It's all going to be about Iran. You know, that country that's not in the United Kingdom. So,
okay, half of them are living over here, to be honest with you, aren't they? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of them, though, with this open border policy, and already the government are talking about asylum seekers in millions leaving Iran, coming over here. Just again, we're going to see an influx. You know, it's not to say that all Iranians are bad. We've got good ones living over here. For example, Mayor Tusi, he fled your persecution because of his freedom of speech. You know, I've seen his father for 15 years. Iranian Christians are on the streets this week celebrating the death of Ayatollah. So there's been a lot of celebrations here because a lot of people can go back to Iran, which is the whole idea, which is the way it should be done. But obviously, we're going to see a lot of reaction to it as well because we've got the Islamic caliphate, the state, the jihadists, all those nut jobs over here as well in sleeper cells, even though the MI5 say there's no sleeper cells, but they've already, since 2021, stopped 20 plots for terrorist attacks on our shores. So it's the whole thing's a lot of bullshit. We know that a sleeper cells in this country ready, waiting to be activated. And this is going to actually spark things off even more now. They're going to get more aggressive because as soon as you attack an Islamic country, mate, you've got them in our, it's like having the enemy behind in our gates, like literally, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. And I mean, this is what I've been firmly against us doing absolutely anything in Iran, purely because I'm old enough to remember every other time we've been in the Middle East, it's all gone tits up. And we might have bit them hard, but they've bit us back harder. And we are still suffering. I mean, there's a strong argument to say that one of the main reasons we are currently flooded with third worlders in our country is as a direct result of us destabilizing them in the Middle East in the early noughties. So it's what have we learned?
Yeah,
nothing.
Exactly. Just to let you know, though, there was some breaking news that last night homes were evacuated in a rural Shropshire village, after suspecting an explosive device that was found. A number of homes have been evacuated after a suspicious device was located in an address in Montgomery. Officers attended the property in Saxon Court earlier this evening and discovered a suspected explosive device. Bomb disposal teams were called. MSM, silent, completely silent. So that is a rural, sleepy town. And, you know, we knew that there was activity there and people had contacted the police. Guess what the police did?
They probably called them racist because there was mention of Saxon in there. You can't say that.
Exactly. Just completely ignored it. And now we're having people being evacuated on the premise that there are dangerous explosive in their village. I mean, come on, you can't make this shit up. It's like we're being warned, we're being told. We're working actually really closely with a guy called Joak, and Joak has put something out, and he basically is saying that the information provided to UK authorities and ignored about the terror threat that will be on our streets are going to be revealed today. So this will affect every household in the UK and will prove that you are being gaslit. Terror has arrived in every community, and starting with lone wolves from African states. Iran has issued confirmation that the sleeper cells must now be activated on our streets. The government know this, and they ignored it, and they failed to advise us as the citizens. Why? Why? What is this agenda? Why are they doing this?
It's all about destabilizing the West, isn't it? Make us all third world.
Yeah. When you've got a spineless prime minister who, doesn't think that people shitting on the street is normal, chucking rubbish out on the streets in their bins, and you go down any street in Birmingham or anywhere like that, Manchester, Liverpool or Leeds, or even Telford, in Telford shopping centre the other day, and there's a shop there dedicated to selling the hijab. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't get my breath. I mean, then you had an iPhone shop that I think was opened by the Green Party called iCrack. I think Jack's opening up the mobile phone section down there as well now. You got the Green Party, everyone on smack and crack. I mean, God knows what's going to happen. Toothless people voting is freaking mental. World's gone mad. Prime Minister's lost the plot. The guy needs to be removed from office, and that's my take on it. I mean, we are fast turning into a third world shit country, and it's no surprise to me that many people is leaving the country. Some of us are staying to fight, but you've just come back from skiing, Callum. Where were you? Tell us a bit about your trip, maybe, before we go to PMQs.
I
was staying at a friend's place near Geneva, and went to Grand Massif, named after me. Morzine, and went to Verbier in Switzerland. But I was going to do a day trip this week, and then I realised my MOT ran out, so I ain't got a car for a week.
That's amazing. So, what did you have? Any accidents? Any falls, or were you just like pro as always?
I did have one big crash. I was seeing stars for the rest of the morning.
Yeah. You're joking.
Caught a back edge, and I went flying backwards. And obviously, the only thing to stop you is your head in the ground.
Not good. Not good. Are you going again soon?
Good. Oh yeah, I've already booked another one for the end of the month.
Oh, have you?
Absolutely love it.
Addicted. It's all good. Right, so we're going to head over.
We're going to bring it on screen now. At the moment, I mean, they're just talking about devolved situations, so we're just going to bear with us.
Wales and indeed across the rest of the United Kingdom can be supported and continue to flourish.
Minister. Well, I thank my honourable friend for his question, and he's making a really important point. And of course, we spend our time.
Yeah, so this is obviously talking about the Welsh economy at the moment, which is an absolute pile of wank. The way the Welsh economy is going is tanking. Unemployment's high under Labour. I mean, this war in Iran now, obviously the price of oil is going to go up, so the petrol pumps are going to be banned. So we're going to pay double for our fuel. It's always been about oil at the end of the day, but folks, we're looking now live at the scenes in the House of Commons. And I think this is Anna McLaurin, is it? I think it might be wrong, but this is useless. It's got a chocolate teapot herself. But anyway, we're going to take off screen. We're going to come back in a few minutes. So, yeah, mate.
Isn't it interesting, right? It's always all about oil, right? Yeah, but so they'll always buy loads of oil like in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mean Ben Habib's pie, but like, but there'll be a war in the Middle East today, and the petrol prices will increase the next day.
Yeah.
Even though all that fuel has been bought at a certain price.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll all die down in the Middle East, yet prices will stay that high for a good while.
Mm-hmm.
Then start to come down. And also, it's because of, it's gone up because of the problems in the Middle East. Like, yeah, but you bought that fuel, say, at £1. It's not £1.20 yet. It's £1.20 when you buy a load more in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, so we should stock up now, shouldn't we? We should be stocking up. You should be buying your tank.
No, don't tell people that. I'll be queuing at the pumps again. Be a fucking hours.
Well, it doesn't matter. The price for us has already gone up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's because we're behind. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But the point is, with all this fair fuel stuff, I mean, Howard Cox does a great job of that, doesn't he? Yeah. I mean, if you look at the taxation system, most of that fuel, what we pay at the pump, most of that's in taxation to the government. I mean, so it doesn't even go to the producers, obviously producing it. Then you've got your tax on the government. Then you've got the cost of the actual company, whether it's Shell, and the profits they're making is billions and billions of pounds to their shareholders. They don't give a toss about ordinary people, but it affects everybody, doesn't it?
But what about the tariffs now that Trump might sort of pose on us because of the war and not allowing them?
Well, he has in Spain, and he's told Spain to fuck off. He's put tariffs on it because.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. He might do it to us, and if they put tariffs on us, then what happens next?
Yeah, listen, PM was a bit of a dickhead, really, and he was behind the curve anyway. He didn't know what was going on till after it happened, and then he wouldn't lend our UK bases for the US to attack it into Iran and all. It's just a shower of shit, like. And he even said, didn't he, in the Oval Office, when he was asked about the question, he says, the Prime Minister, he's useless, like, you know what I mean? We're supposed to be closest allies, and now he's ostracised one of the most superpowers in the whole world by not allowing them to use their UK bases. And one of our bases was attacked in Cyprus. And yet the Prime Minister, what do you do? Fuck all. I know, but the Iraq war is different, right? Completely different to what's happening in Iran. Because people would say Iraq war, obviously we went into false pretenses, no weapons of mass destruction. But in Iran, they were developing nuclear missiles. And they've already hit about 10, 12 countries.
But were they? We were told a few months ago that had all been obliterated. So now they're lying at some stage. I fear this is another Iraq all over again.
This is exactly what we've been saying, isn't it?
No, I've not been saying that.
They've just done Venezuela and taken over all that oil, but that oil's not ready yet. So what could we maybe do? We could maybe destabilize oil in a place where it is refinable. I've gone from being very pro-Trump to I would not vote for him now. I think he is lied and failed on one of his main electoral promises, which was no more foreign wars, and Americans are now dead as a direct result. Iran, are Iran a direct threat to America? No, they're thousands of miles away. Even if the whole nuclear weapon thing is true, there is nowhere near enough fuel to fire a nuclear weapon from Iran to America. So they are once again fighting war for someone else. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Claire, for your £10 super chat gift today. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it.
Don't give any money. That's half a litre of fuel in a week.
Yeah, I know. That won't get you out of the fucking drive, to be honest with you. But thank you. Stop my swearing. Are you censoring me now?
No, I'm just saying you're very sweary today.
I am, yeah, because I'm angry at the government and I'm allowed to swear.
Didn't say you weren't, but just saying you're very sweary today.
I am, yeah. Yeah, put subtitles on. Put a bleeper on instead, then. Yeah? But yeah, I think I disagree with you on the Iran-Iraq thing. I think it's a completely different war, Callum. So we'll beg to differ on that because I think this is very important because it's going to destabilize the Ayatollah. And they were planning terrorist attacks all across the world, especially in countries that are closely allied to America. They've already been doing it anyway for years. But then again, we've all got different opinions. Like assholes, everyone's got one. But
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. It's just, history and my gut tells me that it's not, we were told WMDs in the early noughties. Where were they?
Yeah.
We're now being told about these nuclear weapons. All right, where are they?
I know. I think the fallout will be the same as Iraq in the sense that, it's going to turn people against the West even more because when we bomb anywhere in the Middle East, the results historically for hundreds of years. What you do is you get a reaction from the Islamic people who say, you've killed our women, our children. So wherever you are in the West, if you've been an ally to these countries that have bombed us, we're coming for you. And that's been the birth of terrorism, really, because we should have left them alone to start. That I agree with. But on this occasion, I think freeing the Iranian people from this evil regime where he's killed tens or hundreds of thousands of his own people because they did not comply to Islamic law or Sharia law, I think is a good thing. Many people have been celebrating it. Iranians here in London have been out on the streets dancing with Jewish people, with Americans celebrating his fall. So, hey, let's just see. In a few months' time, this conversation could be completely changed. Who knows? We're going to go live in 1 minute now.
We're going to go across.
And someone said, who cares what's happening in Iran? What's happening in freaking Wales? That's what I'm more concerned about, to be honest with you.
No money for oil. Sorry, it's all in Iran now.
I know, right? Jeez. We watched it live last night, didn't we? The parties all debating. That was interesting. Advance appeared
they weren't debating last night.
But Advance popped on quickly and they had a conversation.
Just a soundbite. That's all that was. That's all they're going to get, to be honest, because they won't be on debates because, of course, unless you're 16 candidates and you're credible, they won't be on there. It'll be the main parties: Welsh Conservatives, Welsh Labour, Plaid Cymru, and the Lib Dems, Jane Dodds, the single only MP. Might be Greens there as well, because the Greens have got about 6,000 members here in Wales now. They're probably
the main parties. Why'd you mention the Tories? They lose their deposits.
Yeah, well, the Welsh Tories would probably get about 4 seats, I think, I should imagine. I think Reform are going to come second. Unless some of these fringe parties like Advance and others on the right drop out, like the Welsh Assembly Party, our friends have dropped out. They put a press statement out this morning. Last night as well, he said, we're not standing any candidates because we don't want to give those on the left, like Plaid, a run-in at the Senate elections, because they're just like the Greens. They're going to legalise it. They're not going to legalise every drug, according to some people. They'll decriminalise some of them. But look, I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of things going to happen coming in May. You're going to be reporting for us in the May elections, Callum, aren't you?
Yeah, we're gonna come to Wales. I'm actually going to phone James. I'm going to phone tomorrow about all this. I'm showing a little look now at the Welsh odds now. Plaid Cymru now 2-5 most seats. I think that's a winning bet in my pocket.
Yeah, I know you will be in the bookies, innit?
Oh, Lord. Right, should we head across?
Well, we're just going to go across now. We're going to come to PMQs. We'll just quietly in the background watch the shower of shit, Callum, and we're going to come back in. We know the talk's going to be about Iran in it and what we're doing. There's the Prime Minister sat there, folks. If you can see just there to the left or to the right of... We've got David Lammy there, Foreign Secretary, who's not interested in anything that's going on in the world, hasn't got a clue, doesn't even know where Iran is on a map, to be honest with you. He doesn't even know what Tottenham is, and he's a PM there. MP there, I should say.
Old mastermind.
Yeah?
Old mastermind.
Yeah. Right, let's go live into Parliament TV, guys. We're going to put it on now, and we're going to discuss it. Right.
Welsh farmers benefit from reduced costs and bureaucracy when exporting their produce to the EU.
I'd like Speaker, Dr. Amanda Gibson and a team of scientists at Aberystwyth University are leading research into how the BCG vaccine might be used to help control tuberculosis in cattle. I know the Minister will agree that this is essential work, but could she help ensure that the research is also considered as part of the UK's negotiations with the EU, so we can ensure that we don't have a choice between animal health and export?
Yes, Minister.
I was at Aberystwyth University just a few weeks ago. They are doing some excellent work, and it's fantastic. They're leading the way on a vaccine for TB in cattle. I know how devastating the impact of TB can be on farms and on cattle. We've begun negotiations with the EU on an SPS agreement. He wouldn't expect me to comment on those negotiations, but I will raise his question and these issues with the relevant colleagues.
Final question, Alex Briscoe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our recent trade deals with the EU, the UK, India and South Korea will reduce bureaucracy whilst giving us significant benefits to our constituents to these markets. Can my honourable friend outline what other benefits and other agreements we can see we will benefit from in the near future?
Is it linked?
Our trade strategy is prioritising deals that deliver real impact for Wales and businesses right across Wales and the rest of the country. This is only possible because this Labour government has achieved economic stability, repaired our reputation on the world stage after the Tories opposite made a complete mockery of it.
Order. Before I come to Prime Minister's questions, and in light of recent exchanges in the Chamber, I'd like to remind members of the need for good temper and moderation in the language that they use in this Chamber. As Speaker, I am not responsible for the specific questions asked by individual members or for the answer given by ministers. So I encourage all members to engage in respectful debate as our constituents would expect. We now come to Prime Minister's questions. Josh Fenton-Flynn.
Number one, please, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The situation in the Middle East remains serious and volatile. This government will be resolute in our focus, protecting British lives, bringing our people home, and safeguarding our national interest. Mr. Speaker, today my thoughts are with the family and friends of Sarah Everard on this very painful anniversary. 5 years ago, I said her death had to be a turning point, and this government is committed to halving violence against women and girls. We are acting in our schools, our police forces, online and offline, to keep women and girls safe, to prevent boys and men becoming abusers, and supporting victims to get justice and closure. Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. In addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to echo the Prime Minister's comments on Sarah Everard and the situation in the Middle East. From the sound mixing desks made by Calrec in Hebden Bridge, which brought the world's Winter Olympics coverage, to the valves made by Blackhole Engineering in Brighouse, which bring water to New York City, Calder Valley's specialist manufacturing is recognised the world over. It brings good jobs and sustainable work. But with 1/3 of engineers over 60, the last government left our manufacturing workforce facing an existential crisis. Will the Prime Minister please work with me to make sure that the new Growth and Skills Levy will support good quality manufacturing jobs in Calder Valley and across the country?
Well, my honourable friend is right to champion brilliant manufacturers. Our modern industrial strategy is driving up standards, investment, jobs and growth. And our Growth and Skills Levy ensures we have the skills we need, supporting more short courses in critical sectors, including engineering. We're investing over £700 million to support thousands more young people into apprenticeships, in stark contrast to the 40% fall in apprenticeships starts under the party opposite.
Kevin Baird, not the Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, can I pay tribute to our brave servicemen and women in the Middle East during this very difficult period? Our bases in Cyprus and Bahrain have now been attacked. The US has taken offensive action to destroy missile launch sites to defend British territory. Why will the Prime Minister not allow the RAF to do the same?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, can I make clear this is obviously an extremely serious situation, and I know the whole country is worried about the potential for escalation. They're worried about the impact on their lives, particularly when they see what's happening with energy. The family and friends of those who are caught in the region will be worried sick about them. And of course, we've got civilians and military personnel at risk in the region. We need to act, therefore, with clarity, with purpose, and with a cool head. The protection of UK nationals is our #1 priority. And we're taking action to reduce the threat with planes in the sky in the region, intercepting incoming strikes, deploying more capability to Cyprus, and allowing US planes to use UK bases to take out Iran's capability to strike. What I was not prepared to do on Saturday was for the UK to join a war unless I was satisfied there was a lawful basis and a viable, thought-through plan. That remains my position.
That wasn't the question I asked him. Nobody wants to see an escalation. The fact is, Mr. Speaker, our bases, in case they don't realize, our bases have already been attacked. Iran is trying to kill our servicemen and women. He is catching arrows rather than stopping the archer. That's what we're talking about. Why is he asking our allies to do what we should be doing ourselves? We are, I would say to Labour MPs, we are in this war whether they like it or not. What is the Prime Minister waiting for?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me give a little more detail, because for a number of weeks now, we've been pre-deploying our capabilities to the region. In doing so, we've been liaising very closely with the United States, as the House would have expected. Therefore, radar systems were pre-deployed, ground-based air defence was pre-deployed, counter-drone systems were pre-deployed, and F-35 jets were pre-deployed. Mr. Speaker, that is why, since Saturday morning, multiple F-35s and Typhoons have been in operation not just in the Middle East, but across Cyprus. Further missions were flown overnight, Typhoons defending in particular Qatar, and F-35s defending other regional parties. We're resupplying our air defence missiles today, Wildcat helicopters with anti-drone capabilities will be in Cyprus this week, and HMS Dragon will be deployed to the Mediterranean. And of course, in agreement with the US, they're using our bases to conduct the operations to strike Iranian missiles and launchers. Mr. Speaker, that is the action that we are taking. That is the agreement that we've reached with the United States to protect our nationals.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has read out a long list. It is not enough. He says that we are pre-deploying. The one ship which we are sending, HMS Dragon, is still in Portsmouth. The fact is the Type 45s cannot take out incoming missiles. This is not enough. He's read out a long list. The people who understand know it is not enough. He should be doing more. Yesterday, the Chancellor could have given more money to defence. Instead, I don't know why they're laughing. I don't know why that's funny. That's not funny. Yesterday, the Chancellor could have given more money to defence. Instead, she gave more money for welfare. Their priorities are all wrong, Mr. Speaker. Their priorities are all wrong. They can chanter as much as they like. The fact of the matter is that the war in Iran is happening now.
Order. Mr. Bailey, I don't like that. I don't think it becomes you either. An officer and gentleman, I expect more.
The fact of the matter, Mr. Speaker, is that the war...
I can lip read as well. So please, let's learn something. If not, you'll learn the way out.
Mr. Speaker, the country is not going to be distracted by Labour MPs moaning. The fact of the matter is that the war in Iran is happening now. But the OBR say the government won't hit 3% on defence for 5 years. The war is happening now. There is no urgency from the Prime Minister. Why is he leaving the job of funding our armed forces to the next government?
Prime Minister.
I'm not going to take lectures on defence from the party opposite. They came into office, and what did they do? They cut the defence budget. They missed army...
Order. Mr. Philp, you've moved from there to there. You're even louder here, so I think twice.
Prime Minister. Not only did they cut the defence budget, they missed army recruitment targets every year for 14 years. They left morale in our armed forces at an all-time low, and our forces hollowed out. That's the words of Ben Wallace, the former Defence Secretary. Labour, by contrast, is delivering the biggest boost to defence spending since the Cold War. £270 billion over this Parliament. And we're doing that because we're focused on what matters. And she's right. The war is, of course, happening now. We have to focus on that. Across the country, people are worried about those that are trapped in the region. And, Mr. Speaker, that is why we're taking action. And I can update the House that yesterday more than 1,000 British nationals arrived back in the UK on commercial flights from the UAE. A further 8 flights are due to leave the UAE to the UK today. I can confirm, Mr. Speaker, that the first charter flight is expected to leave Oman later today, and 2 more will come in the coming days. The country really does want to know this. I'm sorry. Family and friends are worried sick about people who are caught out. I will not be put on. I can announce, Mr. Speaker, we will lay on additional charter flights in coming days. British Airways are now laying on an extra flight from Oman, and the Foreign Secretary will have further discussions today. And can I urge all those in the House who have constituents who are caught in this to make sure that they do register their presence so we can do whatever we can to help them get home safely.
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't asking about evacuations. I was asking about defence spending. He needs to focus on the question he's being asked, not the statement that was prepared in the bunker. He stands there telling us that he's spending more money on defence. They're saying it. No, he isn't. In fact, they are cutting defence spending by £2.6 billion from the MOD budget this year. And that's why there are no Royal Navy warships in the Middle East, Mr. Speaker. In June last year, In June last year, he should ask his defense secretary for the numbers, because that is what's happening. In June last year, Mr. Speaker, the government promised that its plan for funding our armed forces would be ready by autumn. In autumn, they promised it would be ready by the end of 2025. It is March 2026 and still nothing. So can the Prime Minister tell the House when his defence investment plan will finally be published?
Prime Minister.
Well, I'm sorry she's not interested in how people caught in the region are going to get home. I think for the vast majority of people watching this PMQs, that'll be the single most important thing on their mind. They cut defence spending, we're increasing defence spending. And we're doing that, Mr. Speaker, because we've stabilised the economy. Yesterday, the Chancellor announced inflation was down, interest rates down, borrowing down, debt down, investment, living standards growth up. Now, I know the Leader of the Opposition doesn't understand that. The Shadow Chancellor clearly doesn't understand that. Although I do have to thank him that in what's been a very difficult week, he provided some excellent unintended stand-up comedy in his response to the Chancellor yesterday.
Mr. Speaker, he doesn't want to talk about the defence investment plan because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what is going on any policy, so he reads statements that are pre-prepared irrespective of the question, and the whole country can see it. The truth is that because they spent money on welfare, there is no defence investment plan. Because there is no defence investment plan, they are not ordering enough missiles. The fact is that this crisis goes beyond defence spending. They can chant as much as they like. They are pathetic, spending money on welfare instead of defence spending. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, they're not just pathetic. They are also weak. This crisis goes beyond defence spending. It is also about the cost of living. This war is interrupting the supply of oil and gas. That is driving up the cost of petrol and making it more expensive to heat our homes. Yet he is stopping drilling in the North Sea while importing the same oil and gas from Norway. Does he think that at a time of geopolitical crisis, it makes sense to kill our oil and gas industry and give up that ready supply of energy?
Well, the question of the energy supply right now is a serious question, and we are doing all we can with allies to make sure that that is preserved. And it's vital that we keep trade flowing through the Straits of Hormuz, Mr. Speaker. The Energy Secretary met the International Energy Agency yesterday, and the Chancellor is meeting oil and gas companies today. We're keeping in close contact with our allies and key industry players. Again, I think the country wants to know what we're doing now in relation to what's happening in coming days. Mr. Speaker, oil and gas will be part of our energy mix for many years to come. But if Ukraine and the last few days have taught us anything, it is that all the time we're on the international market, we are vulnerable to these changes. That is why renewable energy, where we have our independence and security, would take us off those markets and give us the security that we need.
Speaker, the Prime Minister, again, does not understand the energy transition. You do not need to stop drilling in oil and gas to get renewables. This is basic stuff. He doesn't understand his policy. He's got a sea of orcs and goons who have no idea how anything is working at all. Mr. Speaker, they can complain all they like, Mr. Speaker. The fact is, they are letting down the people out.
Order. You can't do a point of order in the middle of Prime Minister's question.
Mr. Speaker.
Ask my question.
You don't listen to the questions anyway.
Mr. Speaker, the situation in Iran shows this Prime Minister has the wrong priorities. When it comes to defense, it's someone else's job. When it comes to welfare, they find the money. When our bases are attacked, they call the lawyers. when our energy security is under threat, they stop drilling in the North Sea. Mr. Speaker, the truth is, or in fact, Mr. Speaker, after last week's by-election, isn't the truth that he isn't the truth? They might not like to hear it, but they are going to hear it, Mr. Speaker, whether they like it or not. Is it not the truth that he is prioritizing his job security over our national security?
Mr. Speaker, I spent the week protecting British lives and our national interest. And Mr. Speaker, moments like this define a leader of the opposition. They can either step up, act in the national interest and show that they're fit to be Prime Minister, or they can expose their utter irrelevance. She has chosen the second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank the Prime Minister for his leadership and his cool head on the situation in Iran? Prime Minister, the leasehold system is legalised extortion. Last week, I met with dozens of my constituents, their leaseholders and their tenants' residents associations. They're all telling me the same story. Every single month, they're paying hundreds of pounds while their service charges keep skyrocketing. They're trapped between bad managing agents and a system that is broken. Can the Prime Minister tell me what this Labour government is doing to right this wrong once and for all?
Prime Minister. Well, I know my honourable friend has been fighting for her constituents and holding management companies to account. Our reform bill will end the broken, outdated leasehold system and make the dream of home ownership real. Mr. Speaker, we're capping ground rents, delivering transparency on service charges and scrapping the presumption that leaseholders pay landlords legal costs. Our focus is on saving people money and giving them more control of their home and creating a fairer housing system.
Sir Ed Davey, Leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I associate myself with the Prime Minister's remarks on Sarah Everard and the need to do far more to tackle violence against women and girls? And can I also associate myself with the Prime Minister's remarks on Iran, as we rightly debate how to make tax exiles pay their fair share? It is absolutely right the government does everything it can to get all British citizens to safety. Mr. Speaker, experts are warning that families could see their energy bills rise by £500 a year as a result of Trump's illegal war. But millions of families and pensioners are already struggling to keep their heads above water thanks to years of a cost of living crisis. When Putin invaded Ukraine, he and I campaigned for months to get the Conservatives to act on energy bills. This time, will the Prime Minister save families that anxiety and give a cast iron guarantee today that he will not let energy bills rise by £500 this year?
Prime Minister.
Can I thank him for raising this, because I know this will be a concern to the public who are watching what's going on and very concerned about the impact it will have on their lives. It is important that I emphasise the actions we've been taken urgently this week with our allies, with the energy agencies across the world, and the work we're doing to make sure there's safe passage for energy across the world. We will continue to do that. I was glad that we were able to bring energy price bills down by £150 announced just the other day. We will keep a very close eye on this. I do know how important it is for the British public.
Sir Ed Davey.
Well, I thank the Prime Minister for his reply, but I hope he will act if energy bills do go up by £500. Mr. Speaker, Donald Trump's war on Iran has not only brought more chaos across the Middle East, it's increased the threat to our national security here at home. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has previously plotted several failed terrorist attacks in the UK, targeting Iranian journalists, British Jews, and members of this House. Now they are more desperate and dangerous than ever. We've called for the IRGC to be prescribed as terrorists for years. The last government failed to do it, and so has his. So will the Prime Minister table emergency legislation to better protect our country from Iranian terrorists? Will he do it this week?
Prime Minister.
can I just, again, thank you for raising this. It is very important, I say to the House, that as he would, and the House would expect, we are working 24/7 on dealing with any threats to this country. And I spoke on Monday about the 20 Iran-backed threats that we had successfully dealt with, and we continue to do so, and we're working on it 24/7. So it's important that I say that. In relation to the IRGC, obviously we've put in place a number of sanctions already. We don't comment on prescription, but we have made the case that there needs to be legislation to deal with state-backed terrorist groups, and we're looking into that.
Sam Richmond. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The surge in the global cost of oil and gas has the risk of pushing up food and energy prices, which is a real concern for my constituents in Bishop Auckland, just as we're turning a corner on the cost of living crisis.
Folks, we are back. We are back. There we go, folks. We've just finished, and we've been Callum in here 1 second. Is your mic off, Callum?
Not new.
Yeah, we got you. But there we go, folks. There we go. So,
I mean, everybody was getting really frustrated. You were getting angry. You were shouting at the screen. Your arms are folded. You're getting more and more annoyed. Callum, how did you feel?
It's just the same old shit, isn't it? It's just saying all this talk about, like I said earlier, it's just going to be talk of stuff that's not in the UK. It's all about let's try and fix the world. Let's try and do everything else that's not in the UK. We've got I've had to order more paint to draw dicks on the road to get potholes fixed. We've got so many. This is why I really like Rupert Lowe, because I thought he was absolutely bang on. We've got far too many problems here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sort that. And yet all them lot in Parliament who've managed to give themselves a pay rise, they do work hard. Talk about anything except for fixing the UK.
Yeah.
Well, talk about pay rise. I worked it out today. Constituency MPs are on £364.65 a day. That's what they take every single day from the British taxpayer, right? That's a day rate, like, imagine that, right? Going back to some of that shenanigans there now, right? What annoyed me the most, right, is last night at Westminster, he was hosting a party celebrating Ramadan of all things, whilst all of this is going on, whilst we've got this Islamic ideology that we've allowed into our country uncontrolled for decades, not just under Keir Starmer. It goes all the way back to previous governments as well. They're all as bad as each other. And every single politician from the Blair era, the 90s, is responsible for what's happening in this country right now. We have been turned into a third world country. We've allowed it to happen. And then we go and bomb them countries. And so now we're importing even more of them. Well, actually, we've been invaded by most of them. There are some genuine asylum seekers. Don't get me wrong. Of course there are, right? But they're coming not from war-torn countries. They're coming from France. Right now, I'd rather be in France than in the UK on holiday, but yet they're coming over here. Why? Because we've turned this country into a welfare state that people that come here benefit of the backs of hard-working, tax-paying people of this country, and we just go, oh, well, it's because we're a nation of sanctuary in Wales, or it's because we're tolerant, or it's because of the ECHR. We've got to, they've got rights. What about the human rights of British citizens in this country? How about taking care of our own people first before people that come over here who have no respect for our country, no respect for our flag, no respect for our values or anything like that? I've had an absolute titful of this Prime Minister. Honestly, yesterday, I had a massive rant on it yesterday. And literally, I don't recognise pastors in the UK anymore. Literally don't recognise them. No, chuck me in a tent in a field with a tin of beans and bacon, and I'll be happy. Yeah, with bacon, keep the Muslims away in there and all that. But literally, I've had a tip. It's the same shit.
Yeah, somebody's saying that Starmer was kissing their asses last night. It was sickening to see. He was literally rubbing shoulders, and they were it was disgusting. They were. Oh my God, they might as well be kissing. It was that disgusting.
He's an Islamic sympathiser. That's all he is. And the reason why he's doing that is because if he speaks out against Islam in this country, there'll be civil riots on the streets. So he's like, oh, we can't do that. We used to call it PC, being politically correct. Remember that word? It's like, oh, we've got to have social cohesion. We've got to keep everybody happy, No. Ban the mosques, close them down, get rid of them, kick Islam out of the country, problem sorted. Make me Prime Minister. There we go. How's that? Sorted.
Bacon is fine.
Sorry, you
Oh my God. Yeah. So what we're talking about, the defence plan. Keir Starmer has none, and Kemi challenged him and he just had nothing to say. You find every single time he's asked a direct question, he diverts. All he does is deflect as well. Goes straight back to Conservatives and said, it's because of you that we're in this state. Okay, part of that can be true, but listen, you have a job now to be fixing, and he's not doing anything.
No. Well, the defence spending is a joke. Ben Wallace, when he was the defence secretary, I like Ben Wallace. A lot of people didn't. I quite liked him, actually. And when Boris stepped down and he put himself forward to the leadership of the next prime minister, I would like to have seen him because he served. I know he wasn't a kind of frontline kind of guy. He's one of the kind of commanders, whatever it was. I think at the end of the day, I think. Can you laugh when I finish speaking? Thanks, love.
Too funny.
Oh.
Rich, it's so funny when you kick off. You sound like Uncle Otto.
Listen, yeah, I will. I will kick off, all right. Listen, at the end of the day, right, we have not got any armed forces in this country, right? And when Keir Starmer he took him hours to come out after Trump had declared he was going into Iran to take out their nuclear facilities, to take out the places where they were operating, the Ayatollahs, where all the high-ranking officials were meeting. He was wiping them out, right? When all that was happening, Keir Starmer comes out and says, well, we're not going to get involved in this war. It's not our war. By the way, we're not going to let them use any of our bases. So Trump went, you're not going to let us use your bases. All right, then. Within 10 minutes later, he'd done his 16,525.7 U-turn and said, oh, no, we're going to let you use it now all of a sudden. Because how can you cut off the greatest ally? If we were attacked right now by Iran, which, by the way, they've attacked one of our military bases. This is war. If Churchill was alive today and Iran had attacked one of our UK bases in Cyprus, in France, wherever we might be based, anywhere out in the UAE, whatever it was, in Dubai, I tell you now, we would retaliate. This man is weak. He is spineless. Well, he's got no spine at all. In fact, there was a thing going around on X this morning. Someone from DPT, the delivery guy with a spine, delivering it to number 10. Yeah, there's your spine back. I mean, the guy is just a spineless prick. He needs to go. Simple as that. And quicker as an election, the better. I tell you, I'm just getting angry with him now.
I just want to say thank you again, the original Joe Blogs. I know that you've done so many things whilst we were watching. So I just want to say thank you for the gift. So you all have a membership. Whoever hasn't got a membership, you can actually now get a membership because he is amazingly gifted 10 memberships. So jump on and become a member.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
thank you so much for that.
Do you want to go through the gifts?
Yeah, let's go through. So we've got Claire Bear. Thank you so much. We put that up earlier. We have, again, a super chat. We have another super chat. So anybody wants to put a super... Is that how it works? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a super chat for you guys.
It's the same.
It's just amazing. Starmer, I am a robot. Literally, he is. And then we've got...
He's gifting Swiss francs as well, so that's... proper.
That's how it is, Swiss francs, yeah. I mean, listen, we'll take money off the Russians, the Germans, the French, the Italians. Apparently, we're taking money off them. What are you kicking me for? It's true. I'm joking. They know I'm joking, man. Listen, apparently, we've been accused for taking money off Russia. Who else, love? Who else?
I was accused of being a Russian spy. I thought that was brilliant. I thought, wow, okay.
You can't even speak Russian, can you?
No. I don't even look Russian.
This is not very good. This is not very good Russian. But I know this is not very good. We will take money not from the Russians because we get kicked off the channel. But we will give it to Ukraine.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, thank you all for your donation, your gifts.
Thank you so much.
So going back to Keir Starmer, right? So here's the big problem in it, right? We don't have an armed forces, Callum, right? It's been hollowed out for decades, right? The spending is absolutely ridiculous. We're spending more on welfare than we are on defense. So if we were literally attacked tomorrow, like let's go back First, Second World War, completely different times, different kind of situations. But let's say we were directly attacked on UK soil, not our bases now, right? We would be absolutely screwed, literally. And not only that, we've got the enemy behind our lines, right? They're already living in this country. The biggest fear a lot of people have is that we've been housing, and the MI5 and MI6 will deny this, right? They say, no, there's no sleeper cells in this country. That is a lie. They're not going to tell you. Why would they tell you? They're sworn to secrecy. but we know that they're here. We saw yesterday a guy in Allen Rock getting beaten to death, kicked and stabbed and everything else. We got these people retaliating because we're bombing their countries. They're coming over here and they're saying, right, we're going to kick back now. We're going to kill your own people. Look what happened to Lee Rigby, for example. Never forget these people. Or Wayne Broadhurst. All these people that have been murdered under this and previous government's watch. And we just sit back and go, oh, well, you know, just keep the borders open. Fuck them, I say.
Russia just gifted money.
Cheers. Cheers, people. Cheers, people.
That's hilarious.
I saw that and I smirked at the time on about Lee Rigby dying. I was like, oh, if this gets clipped now, it looks like I'm laughing at Lee Rigby thing. But I saw the Russia just gifted money. I was like, oh, that's
I mean, it's no wonder why the country's angry, on it. Let's be honest.
MI5 are infiltrating part of the Home Office. Okay. There's a lot going on. I mean,
well, it wasn't just Keir Starmer at that celebration of Ramadan yesterday. It was that Lord Hamer as well. There's a clip of him. We're going to show it now. A show tonight, actually, with Dave Atherton. Dave Atherton's on with us tonight, folks, at 8 p.m. Got a couple of clips to show you of that celebration. And as he's going rubbing shoulders with all the, all these Islamic loving, death barbaric cult people, because that's what it is. I'd love it. Like, if I was an Ayatollah and you died and you woke up not 70 virgins, but you woke up to 70 goats. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Huh? That's heaven, isn't it? I'd laugh my tits off.
Enjoy that.
It says here, right, even if we were, or if even we are attacked, would the USA help now after Starmer keeps tossing them off, passing them off over and over and fine USA internet companies?
Well, Starmer, Trump will only support where it's beneficial to him, right? He's a transactional prime minister. He's a businessman at the end of the day, right? And he's not going to go into a war that he can't win, and he's not going to go to a war which he's not going to benefit from, whether it's taking oil, taking minerals, or whether it's something else. And here in the UK, right, what have we got? Tourism. My God, have mercy on us. We've got nothing left in this country it's worth defending, apart from the fact that he loves the royal family, which, by the way, has become a massive laughing stock now, the monarchy itself, right? But Trump, what you've done is you don't turn around to Donald Trump and tell him, no, we're not going to support you in attacking Iran by lending you our bases and everything else because we don't want to enter into the war because it doesn't affect us. It does affect us. Look at the oil prices going to shoot up now. Look at the food cost, because the cost of wheat and grain is going to go up now because of these wars. And all of this is something that Keir Starmer has not got a clue. He's a lawyer, for goodness sake. He's not a leader. What does he know about leading the country? And Plaid Cymru this week come out with a 100-day plan, didn't they, right? What they're going to do in Wales. I could give you a 10-day plan, first term in office, straight away, give me the keys to number 10, and I could do a better job than Keir Starmer's ever done in all the time that he's been Prime Minister. Simple as that. I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all, Callum. Your thoughts?
You know what? I'm gonna to a degree disagree with you, Richie. I would have the Americans here. I would become an isolationist state. To work for Switzerland, why do we have to get dragged into other people's wars? I think the Brits, we are the hardest people in the world. We're currently bending over backwards at the moment, but it only takes a small percentage of us that when we go, right, that's it, I've had enough, we beat everyone. I would, yeah. Personally, I think he only said no to the using the bases because they're probably full of potholes and he'd be embarrassed for them to see them. I would. I'd be like, no, you want to fly over the Atlantic to go and fight Israel's war. That's on you. We don't need to get involved. I become an isolationist state. I would drill for oil in the North Sea. I would shut the borders to pretty much everything. All right, you want to come for tourism? That's fine. You can get a good job here. Okay, fair enough. But I think it's actually probably time. Yeah, become an isolationist state. I can't see any country that is a genuine threat to us. Like when it comes to actual war, we're an island. It's the easiest thing to defend. I am starting to be turned off by this idea of joining the Americans in the American imperial kind of ambitions, because ultimately I don't think it is for America. I think they are doing it because Netanyahu wants them to do it. I don't see why we have any reason to be fighting in the Middle East. Every time we go in there, it goes wrong. Yeah.
Callum, that's why he moved to Switzerland.
6 Americans died. 6 Americans have died so far. After Trump's broken an electoral promise. He promised no more foreign wars. Yet they've gone and done some bombing in Iran. Now, I don't like the Iranian regime. However, it's not my house.
Mm-hmm.
I can disagree with what they're doing. I can shout from far. But for me to go in their house and start doing things, no, that's not my place. Because if anything, that gives them a right and a reason to then retaliate. So I think, yeah, it's time to become an isolationist state. If the Americans want to go and do what they want them to do in the Israeli government, that's on them. But you know, he's failed. I think he's failed as an American president by going against his main electoral promise, and now Americans are dead as a result.
But then we've got somebody here saying, remember though that Starmer and the King, with them here in power, there is no such thing as borders. There isn't. You know, the border's going to be wide open. The monarchy is a pile of shit. You know, they're not doing anything. The king is not doing anything. I know that he can't, but the point is, you know, somebody has to step in somewhere when you see what we're actually doing to this country. And actually, we're not being protected. The women and the children are really, really at risk. And, you know, not even just the women and children now. Like yesterday, we were actually in Birmingham and we just saw all the police going to Allen Rock. And then you see that live that's kind of gone out everywhere of that man literally being brutally stabbed and murdered, you know, literally under his car or under a car. It's horrific sighting. No children should be subjected to that. We are a third world country. I need this to stop. For me, for my grandchildren, you know, you've seen my grandson, like an absolute bundle. Yeah. I cannot live like this. And it is putting us into this state of anxiety. You know, so if we say, well, it's not really our war, it's happening and shit is going on. And somehow we always do get involved. And I understand what you're saying. But, you know, how do we find that resolve and how are we protected? Starmer needs to go. Yeah, number one.
We've all staffing premises. Nobody wants war, right? Nobody. The only people that profits are those selling the arms and everything else, and after the minerals and the oil and everything else, right? It's those powerful people that prosper. Us little people, we don't benefit at all. If anything, it affects us massively, right? The cost of living and everything else, right? But we've got a war inside our own country going on, which is a big enough battle, like Rupert's been saying, right? And as you've mentioned there, Callum, right? But these external wars will always have an impact on what's happening internally. Slightly different anecdotal thing here. My son is watching today, right? And he's given me permission to share this. So my son, who's 17, went to do his CSS card to be able to qualify to do road works and everything else. Desperate for a job, can't find a job. To find a job in Wales is almost impossible unless you can speak Welsh, right? And then you end up working for left-wing media. So he goes to the college and he tells me, and I'm referring what he said to me in the message, Dad, I was the only white person in the training room. It was full of Pakistanis and Indians. That's what he told me. He said, I had to leave because they were all messing about singing, some of them in Urdu, messing about. There was a white tutor who told my son off because he had one earphone in, because he had it in, because he's got autism and he's got ADHD as well. He can't concentrate, so he has a earpiece in here, listening to music and listening to what was going on, doing the exam for his CSS card. He got up, complained to the tutor, saying he can't concentrate because of all the noise of the rackets of these people that were there. And the tutor said, if you don't like it, you can leave. And he ended up walking out. And yesterday, I was absolutely pissing livid. And these people were there, paid for by the taxpayers. A lot of them were immigrants, right? They were asylum seekers that have come here. The courses have been paid for by the Welsh government. My son had to pay for, my dad pays for it, and not him, paid for him to go to the course because he wants to get a job. He wants to work. And yet, the whole system, mate, is just broken. No priority is given to our own people anymore. We are seen as people are supposed to accept what is the norm, but this isn't the norm. This is not the country I want my children to grow up in. It's not the country I grew up in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, we didn't have much money. Yeah, we were working class, but we had morals, we had standards, we had principles we lived by. We looked after each other, we had communities. All of that is gone. I mean, driving back from Birmingham yesterday, I swear to God, it's like driving through Baghdad that had been bombed after, what's his name, Saddam Hussein. There was black bin liners, bags everywhere. It was absolutely filthy, disgusting. And I don't want to live in a country like that. I suppose a lot of people watching this show don't want to live in a country like that. We want to make Britain great again. This is not India. It's not Pakistan. It's not Afghanistan. It's not Bangladesh. This is Great Britain. And it's about time that we took ownership again. I'm getting to the point where people, I think, are going to take to the streets and it's going to be a civil war soon. I really believe that. I don't think politicians have done enough job.
And that is exactly why I'd leave Iran alone. We've got so many problems here. Why spread ourselves more thin? I just want to. Somebody in the comments there mentioned a minute ago. Trump, Mr. Waffle. So he said Iran were on the verge of creating nuclear missiles. That's why Trump acted. He said it himself. But I also want to point out, it was about 6 months ago. Trump also said we've obliterated their program. So one of those statements is false, which then leads me to think, okay, 2003, we're told weapons of mass destruction. We go and destabilize the Middle East. Brits and Americans die. Europe's now fucked as a direct result. I think it's time. Yeah, that's why I want no part in the Middle East, because I want the UK to be great again. I want to put 100% of our efforts, resources, concentration into the United Kingdom. I'll even include Ireland into that if they want a little bit of help. I want no part in all that.
Do you know, I get that, right? And that's kind of quite sort of peaceful and kind of directed for here and for us. And I get that truly, right?
I know it's not peaceful. It's more, it's not my problem. Sorry, there's too much shit happening here. You're on your own.
Yeah, okay. You just was frozen. No, the point is, though, we have sleeper cells. We have sleeper cells. We have too many people infiltrated here that have been lost in the system, right? So something needs to happen. But Keir Starmer, and I keep on going back to this time and time and time again, and I cannot remove myself from this fact. He has said that he will lead us in the next election. He knows, or he believes, that he will be, put back in, right, as Prime Minister. However, no, but it's a joke, but he genuinely believes it, which is why I think war is starting. He is kind of doing the way that he's doing it.
No,
because
I want to go to war, though.
No, but do you know what? He's doing it in a really, it's gaslighting. It really, really is gaslighting. He's there saying that he doesn't want to, but it's creating ruckus with fucking, I'm just swearing now because I'm getting angry, sorry.
I can't believe I can't believe all the people correcting me for swearing is you.
I know.
That is something.
It's a fucking disgrace.
I know. It is. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. But the point is, I just feel like it's really gaslighting because he's trying to obstruct Trump. He's doing a lot of, look, we've just had people die, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't stand that Starmer is just being this, I don't know, it's like lapsy-daisy, but there is a bit of gaslighting behind it. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but there is maneuvers and manipulation. And I'm getting really frustrated because I know that he's going to do something later on. It's like a chess game, right? And he's doing his chess game. And in 2029, I don't reckon even a general election will be able to be called. He's biding his time somewhere, and I don't know.
It's got to be. It's by law. They can't, unless we're in war.
Exactly my point.
It won't be because we can't go to war. We haven't got a bloody army. We can't go to war. That's why he's not doing it, because we haven't got it. It's been hauled out. How many ships have we got? Was it 14 ships? 19 ships?
I wouldn't be surprised if we do go to war. It wouldn't shock me.
There is a manipulation tactic. But look, I'm not sure what his strategy is. I'm not sure. What I'm trying to explain to you, and you need to listen to Gut. Gut is telling me that there is something that is like a chess game. He's doing this pawn, and then soon he'll get his queen or his, whatever's bishops, and then he'll get them out, and then 2029 is when it all goes to shit, and then we are absolutely fucked. We're already fucked with the sleeper cells.
So what's he going to go to war with? A Lego set? Because he hasn't got no army. What's he going to build it? A Lego?
He does not care. He will call anybody up. Women.
We'll go in with something. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, because
but I don't think people ain't going to fight with Keir Starmer. They'll put two fingers up to him and tell him to do one. I mean, let's be honest. But look, at the end of the day,
especially the amount of reform voters that I'm seeing that they're like, yeah, we should go and fight Iran. I'm like, well, what? Why? Why do you actually want to go and die abroad? I just can't. I mean, somebody said Annie said in the chat there, I want to respond to her comment. She said it's our place to stand with the strongest allies like the USA. But if they are picking a fight somewhere, why is it our place to go and die abroad for foreign politicians? That's what I just, people talk about they've got long-range nukes, long-range missiles. But have they? I struggle to believe politicians these days. They say all this, and it gets people's backs up. And it makes them want to be all patriotic and go fight. You can't nuke the UK from Iran. That's going to take a long time to fly this far, and there's not enough fuel to put on a rocket to go all this way. And in that time, you could easily intercept it. Like, it's going to take hours to get here. It's not going to go like that, like you see in the films. We need to.
No, I mean, they've the closest countries to them, they Dubai and the UAE and places like that, where they're pretty close. But I think ultimately, like you said, I mean, unless
sorry, people are echoing this. Remember that Starmer does keep on saying he'll be in power for 10 years, and the only way to do that is if there is a war.
I've got $4,500 on this year.
Well, if you think about it, though, the only way you can do that is by going back into the EU, because then you'll have an army, because you'll have the European army, which is what Blair wanted right at the start. So his whole idea of the general election is not to start to keep in power the war. There'll be no general election. But if he gets back into bed with the European Union, which he has been doing, which he has been planning with Ursula, then there'll be a European army that we'll be able to fight against, whether it's Russia, whether it's Iran or some other foreign Middle Eastern country. I mean, the whole thing with the Arab Springs that Trump got set up and everything else, and there was peace around those Middle Eastern countries. But people don't realise these battles and conflicts have been going on for centuries. This is nothing new, nothing at all new.
So Annie said here, they are not picking a fight, Callum. So this is her response to, they're not picking a fight. So, the fight is here. It's not that they're actually picking a fight. What do you want to say to that?
How does fighting in Iran equate to that? I mean, Richie, you just made a really interesting point then. Going back, it will take us back into the European Union. And that is exactly why I do not believe these politicians when they basically want to go and fight in Iran, because it's not problem, reaction, solution. It's like COVID all over again. Yes, let's go pick a fight with the Iranians, because we'll draw these countries into it. Okay, the UK doesn't have an army. I know. We've wanted to have a European Union army for a long time now.
Absolutely.
I'll draw them back in. You can't. Here's another reason why I don't trust the likes of Trump and all that. They've all kissed the wall. And there's always one common denominator who keeps dragging us into this stuff, and it's us doing the Israeli government's bidding. That's not anti-Semitism.
No.
We don't care about all these religions. But it's there's a common denominator. It's always an Israeli government doesn't care about its own people, I don't think. And someone said there, it's a ballistic missile. A ballistic missile is not going to get to the UK in minutes. That would break the sound, light, everything barrier, given the distance there is. I am firmly of the belief that this is all these politicians. They just want to drag us into this to get other people, like, us normal people, to want to go and fight abroad whilst they line their pockets. Agenda 2030 stuff comes to fruition as populations die out because we're killing each other, or because these politicians are having a quarrel. They probably don't even hate each other. They probably thought, that worked a treat, didn't it? How much money did you make off this war? Well, I made this much. Aha, I made this much. Oh, never mind. The next one, maybe you might make a bit more than me. It's, I'm an isolationist. I want to see Britain great, then I want to see Europe great. It'd be nice to see the world great, but that's never going to happen. But I want to purely focus on my country.
Yeah, and I agree. I think we should. But right now, with everything that's going on, I mean, okay, how do we focus on our country then? Let's have a look at that. We have sleeper cells. How are we, the people, whilst we've got our own king and Keir Starmer, who are completely against the indigenous people of this country, how do we then focus on our country?
We need to hunt them out like we're vampire hunters. We get two sausages, you put together like a cross, and you go near them. If they start burning, okay, it's one of them.
just put a string of bacon around your neck and approach people, and if they run, to report them. That's simple as that, isn't it? I mean, that's one way to do it. Do you know what I mean? You can start with all the foreign nationals in our prisons. 14,000 foreign nationals in our prisons, right? Shut down every hotel. Every landlord that's got HMO with asylum seekers should be fined or put into prison. any politician that signs any visas, stop no more student visas for anybody coming over here, all their families, respectively. Those who are here for a right to leave to remain, they should be shipped out immediately. Shut the borders completely. Give the country a chance to breathe again. We haven't got enough time to fart in this country because we're overcrowded. There's no housing. There's no jobs. The economy's tanking. People are on welfare more than anything else. And a lot of these people that come here, they're on welfare. Most of them, I think the bill was like in the billions of what we're paying foreign nationals. We're giving foreign nationals the right to vote in our country. Not even British citizens, foreign nationals. Where in the rest of the globe is it when a non-citizen can vote in a country? I think we're the only country in the world that allows a foreign national to vote in an election. What? I mean,
Well,
it's
America,
just bonkers.
I'm in California, aren't I?
Are they doing California today? Oh, yeah.
Well,
They're all smoking pot,
yeah.
right?
I registered to vote there.
So, Callum, it's on you now.
Yeah.
How do we make Britain? How do we make you're on full on, and I'm asking you the question: how do we make it great again? Come on.
You massively reduce taxes. You shut the borders. You basically, it'll sound a bit authoritarian, but maybe you kind of need it. You basically start going through a lot of the foreigners as well, and you see if they can speak English. Oh, you can't speak English? Sorry, off you fuck. I think we need to massively reduce the population of this country, not through killing people, but through getting rid of people who shouldn't be here. I would ban halal and kosher meat. They're both barbaric, and I think you'd see a lot of people leave by their own fruition because it's no longer a country that suits their values. Ban things like hijabs.
Ban the call to prayer.
The call to prayer,
yeah. That would become a public disturbance. The whole call to prayer. I think just things like
Just
that
quickly,
alone.
what do you think of Rupert Lowe? What are your thoughts? Are you with Restore or are you?
I was never going to vote again, but I'd maybe do it one last time, and I would vote Rupert. I like everything he says, absolutely everything, and I like as well how he's not just doing an old Captain U-turn and then changing his opinion because some people have said they disagree with it. No, I like that he's gone, this is what I believe in. This is what I'm going to run on. Vote for me if you agree. Love it.
Yeah. He's been under attack though recently with the old the accusations of the ethno-nats and all that, and what is British and everything else. I mean, there's been a massive spat on a lot of YouTube influencers arguing the toss over this the last couple of days, and I think we're going to do a show on it soon actually because it's becoming a bit of a hot potato, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, a lot of the arguments against the ethnics, they basically say that someone's racist if you say someone's not English. Well, I mean, the English are those with Anglo-Saxon and Jute heritage. Like, I could be born in Nigeria. I'm not Nigerian. It's not, I don't see why it's been made into a slur and just because you say, oh no, this person's not English. I'm not saying I hate you because of that. I'm saying if you're, I don't think if you are black, I don't think you are English purely as more, I just don't think you're English. I'm not saying I don't want to live amongst you. I'm not saying I hate you because of that. It's just a fact. I am a man because I'm male. I have the male organs. I think to be English.
But do you know what? If Green's get in, he could actually grow you a pair of boobs.
Yeah. Whilst you're cracked off your tits.
I reckon I'd look great with a set of tits.
Do you know the crazy part about it is, like, I mean, as far as a Welshman's concerned, right, we were invaded by the Anglo-Saxons. Like, we were the original Brits according to our Welsh history.
Yeah.
If you look at it, actually, we were, I mean, but look, I think what's happening, these racial divides are going to become really, really heated, and they're not going to slow down. I think the left promoting it as well. They got their bots and their trolls out, really trying to pit each other against each other, you know, with Ben Habib's position, with Rupert Lowe's position, with Farage's position, all these on the right side, the Heritage Party, Homeland Party, Britain First Party. I mean, the list goes on, right? They want us to fight each other on these ethnicity lines, when actually, does it really matter, right? Owning a British passport doesn't make you British. We know that, right? Because you can come here, work and live, and then you can apply for it. You can have dual citizenship, right? You're British by the very fact, right? Yeah, you were born in this country. What's your ancestry? I mean, my ancestors could be German for all I know. They could be like, I don't know. I mean, knowing probably most of mine are from Australia because they got shipped out. They're all criminals from my background anyway. But that's a long story. So I can, but you know, these arguments to the electorate, right, to the person out in the street, as you said earlier, Callum, they don't give a shit. All they care about, are my bins going to get collected? Are my potholes going to get sorted out? You know, is my council tax going to go down? We got potholes out here, mate. If you put water in them, you can go for a butterfly swim in them. They're that big. It's literally ridiculous.
If you can stay with Labour, Labour says that Lammy, you can actually grow a cervix.
Oh yeah, well, Lammy, listen, the Labour Party, they had to go. They had to go to the Supreme Court to find out what a man was or a woman. My God. I mean, to go to a court of law, the highest court in the land, to find out what a man or a woman was like. I mean, what? Can you imagine the cost of the lawyers and that, debating it in the chambers, sitting there with the judges. Now, let's define what a man is. A man has a penis. Yes, that's right. Tick box.
Do you know, there was a film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't
Did you say Schwarzenegger? Did you just say Schwarzenegger? Yeah. Did you say Schwarzenegger?
I'll be late.
Did you just say Schwarzenegger? What is going on? Dear Jesus. All that work last... just go, oh, well, that's it. That's how it's over then. That's us done then. I'm never standing for an election ever again in my life now. This is going to get clipped by Nation Cymru, Wales Online, Daily Express. We'll be all over the front pages next week. Now you said that. Thanks, love. Great. That's me done, folks.
Richie, the racist and the anti-Semite. That'll be the headline.
It's where a child stands up in the middle. It's a kindergarten, it was. And he stood up and he just said, boys have penises and girls have vaginas. It is that simple.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, my God.
In normal people's heads, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, Lammy and that lot aren't actually that normal.
I know.
Did you see the Advance UK Wales promotional video? It's like a South Park parody. I couldn't tell if the Wales page was hacked or not, or if that's the new guy who took over has just been daft.
Oh, we might show that tonight.
I think we should show it tonight.
Someone sent it to me to look at.
Somebody, they've deleted it since, actually. They have deleted it.
Oh, they want to. It's dreadful.
It was awful. Like, there were actual videos made about that video just saying, oh, my God, this is absolutely shocking. I didn't agree with what Ben... Huh?
That is a great point by Mr. Waffle. Why are people just not proud to be who they are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were told at school, be proud of who you are, that sort of thing. So it's like, if you are Ghanaian, be happy that you're Ghanaian.
Absolutely.
You're a British citizen, yeah. But why are you ashamed of saying who you are? I just don't get it.
Absolutely. So we are British, ethnically English, Scottish, Welsh, Irish, coincidentally white. However, integrated non-Muslims would be welcome to stay in my book. What do you think about that? Because we know that a lot of them can lie and pretend that they're not Muslims, and they are Muslims.
But it's not about compassion. It's about capacity. We're a small bloody island. We can't take any more people in, man. I mean, look, if you like depopulation, right? I would depopulate the UK. Right, but not by killing them, like you said. What I would do is I would ship out, you mentioned already, Callum, a list of people we could do, right? That would take a massive strain off our housing, public services, our public health, you name it, mate, massive.
Parking. Think of all the parking spaces.
I know, tell me about it, I know.
Do you know, can I just say that they are having to put up a new sign? Have you seen the new sign?
No.
And it is a man bending over the bottom with poo coming out of it with an X on it. They are literally having to put that up, like no ball playing, no shitting on the streets. Like, that should not even be a thing.
Well, it's like I said, it's a third world country. They think, in Pakistan and India and places like that, they just shit whatever. They just pull their kegs on and have a shit. Like, they think they can do it over here, like, so co-op, like, they're mad. Like, if you're in
They can.
Yeah, I know. If you well, Mandelson today, he took a piss outside his house, didn't he? But Peter Mandelson, you see him doing that? I mean, it's just gross. Like, it's just gross. Like, absolutely mental. If someone in my hometown Clelly saw someone having a shit, they'd get their head kicked in. They would. You dirty, filthy creep. They would. And Clelly's a rough place, right? You just don't go shitting on streets, mate. There's a thing called a toilet. You know what I mean? You sit on it. Do you know what I mean? Or you hover, especially if it's a service station, because I wouldn't sit in one of them toilets. I tend to hover. Anyway, there's too much detail in it.
Sorry. Richie Rogue, you see that over 1,000 new people have had sex change surgery on the NHS. When they cancelled my spinal surgery to save money and bring down the waiting list, half the list died before having the surgery.
Absolutely disgusting and disgraceful. And that's why the whole of the NHS is messed up. When an Iron Bevan, a good old Welshman from Eberville here in Wales, set it up, if he could see what's happened to the NHS now, he'd be turning in his grave. It's an absolute disgrace what they've done. And it's not the hard-working people that work in there. They're generally going there for the right reasons, on vacation, right? They work their bollocks off. They work way beyond their hours and shift. It's middle management. It's CEOs. It's those people making millions and millions. They're on like 250 grand a year. You take hospitals here in Wales, right? We've got 3 special measures. Betty Cadwallader, can't say the Welsh word there. There was a few. There was the an Iron Bevan. There was a few of them. Special measures because basically they're shit. They can't run a hospital. I mean, where's this come from?
They actually do recruit in India as well, don't they? And this is one of the things I've often never understood as well. Like, when they say about immigrants come to the UK and they go, "Oh, well, no, but they're doctors and engineers." They're like, you look at like the engineering in Africa and you go, well, they're clearly shit ones. Why do we want that here? You're living in a mud hut.
I know. Have you seen their building?
Not an engineer. You might be the best engineer where you're from, but that's not the standard we're at or that we should be asking for. So that's why I'm like, when people go, "Oh, you don't want doctors and engineers to come up." No, I don't. I'd actually like to recruit our own people and make them smarter and make them better. We've got a brain drain, whether it's just people's brains are draining out of them or smart people are now leaving. But it doesn't matter because we're getting, we're getting Ghanaian engineers who can't build shit.
Yeah, they don't know the left or right. Yeah. So look, remigration. Okay, that was something that when we were with Advanced, we were looking at remigration, and it's quite a difficult topic really, because how far it goes back and who has to stay, who can stay, who can't stay. It's really, really difficult to kind of approach. Rupert Lowe, where is he at with that?
I'm not sure because, of course, they're still waiting to be registered political party. I mean, he's basically, look, the first problem you've got to do is this, right? Before you deport anybody, you've got to stop the ones coming in first. Right, you've got to stop the leaking, right? So you stop that instantaneously. Do it by military, by the Navy. I don't care how it's done. Just get it done, right? Screw the French. Stop paying their money because they're just a taxi service, right? They're a waste of space. Macron and his wife with a dick. They're a waste of time, right? You shut the borders immediately, right? Then you start doing what ICE have done in the USA. Now, some would say, "Oh, we don't want to go that far, with the aggression and the guns and this, that, and the other." I don't care. I really just don't care anymore. We've got to get rid of these people that don't belong here. They're here illegally. They shouldn't be here. They've broken into our country. If someone breaks into your house and burgles your house, what do you do to them? You confront them. If you've got a bat, you beat them. You throw them out of the house. You phone the police. You do whatever it takes. You get them out of your house because they're a threat to your family. It's the same as our country. They're a threat to our country and they don't belong in this country. Get rid of them.
Illegal ones. I think a lot of legal ones need to go as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree.
There was a barbers in Cumbria that people can look this up themselves. Basically, being a barber is seen as something. It's like a special kind of employment. They were giving out visas to people to be barbers. So you've got a lot of people here that are here legally. But I think it's time to basically go through a lot of them as well. But like I said, I think there's so many ways where you can almost make it a hostile environment without being hostile. Things like we're banning halal and kosher meat. It's barbaric. It doesn't need to be done. Anyone seen doing that is facing a fucking huge fine. And we will be coming after that money as well. And it will be every single time you do it. I think you'll see so many people go, do you know what? This new caliphate that we're in it's not working. Yeah, we're going to leave.
Yeah.
Make it uncomfortable.
Keir Starmer doesn't want to upset or offend because they are his main voters. So ultimately, he's not going to do that. And whilst he is in power, we are struggling. You know, we can't go on.
Gordon and Denton was a Muslim vote, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a massive block vote. Massive block vote. So just really quickly want to touch on this because somebody had put that they felt that Richard Shaw's video yesterday of resignation from membership from Advance was questionable, and Kim has answered and said he is genuine. Ben misled from the start. So I just want to acknowledge that. Actually, he conducted his own lightning investigation, and he interviewed quite a lot of people, and from those interviews he gathered a lot of information which then brought him to his conclusion. And I have to say it was done properly. And for him, it was really difficult because he started the Integrity Party, which then became Advance. So that for him was his baby. And he was proud of what he had given to Ben Habib. For him to walk away was massive. For him to walk away and say, I can no longer do this, I'm going to go to Restore. That's leaving your whole baby, your whole business, your whole everything that you've invested into on the side and going to start again as a, I don't want to say the word, but as a member, as somebody that hasn't got an important role. I'm not saying he necessarily had a massive important role in Advance, but he birthed it. So I have to say Ben had misled from the beginning, and there is a genuine, heartfelt, kind of deep-seated loss for Richard Shaw, and I do feel for him, to be honest.
Well, look, at the end of the day, we are where we are, right? And you've got to look at the political landscape right now and see what's happening. The Restore Britain are overtaking the Conservative Party in their membership. That tells you all you need to know right now, right? They're massive. And that's only going to get bigger 3 years out of the next elections. If Rupert becomes Prime Minister, will things change in the country? I'd like to think so, but I don't. It doesn't mean to say I don't believe in what Rupert's trying to do. I don't believe in what Restore Britain is setting out, or Advance, or any political party that sells it to me, whether it's Reform. Here in Wales, I want Reform to win because I want Plaid Cymru out. And if you vote for anybody else, you're going to end up with Plaid. And they're just as bad as the Greens. You know, they don't give a shit about anything. They're so liberal and woke and snowflakey. You won't believe it. So at the end of the day, I think you've got to vote for, it's tactical at the end of the day. But I've got to the point where the ballot box, well, I mean, it's just I believed in it. I can remember a few months ago I was saying to you, the only way we change things is through the ballot box.
I said no.
And I'm like, I've gone the other way. I'm like, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same shit, different shovel, just a different rosette, different color, because politicians, these elites, these bureaucrats, these people in power who control the media, who control the narrative, they'll get away with it. They'll get away with murder. They don't care. They want us to own nothing and be happy. And I don't see politicians changing it. I really don't.
I just want to say about this, any immigration plan will be resisted and they will not leave voluntarily, which is my point. War is going to happen one way or another, and that will be here.
They'll lose.
Are we all ready? Are we all ready?
They'll lose.
They will.
They will lose.
We're already at war.
I honestly think 5 proper Brits could easily take on 10 to 12.
Okay, I hear that. Sorry, I am interrupting because I'm getting a bit annoyed, right? Listen to me now. We've had way too many people die in the last few months from spontaneous attacks, from unprovoked attacks, and what we're doing is seeing no men rise up and stand to take action for here. Do not give me, not you, the people, the majority, giving me the chitter-chatter of bullshit of, we just need the Brits, we'll all come together, we're all going to be the strong men, we will fight. What are you doing? Right now, we have had Wayne Broadhurst, who was killed in broad daylight for walking a dog. There was nobody to protect him, right? Where are the people? Because Something needs to take place and happen.
Wayne Broadus was protecting two people who were being attacked.
Exactly.
So he was doing just what you were saying there.
Exactly. But the point is they need more than just one man going and take them on. They are carrying knives and they have got guns. Now, how do we know this? Because they are coming across on the boats with them. They are bringing their arms. Yeah, exactly. And the containers are there, the blue containers that are full of arms. So remigration is a great idea. We can tell them to fuck off. Unfortunately, the fight will happen here. So because you're saying that you don't want, war, let's deal with Iran. We've got stuff going on here. We have to deal with here, but we have to also be more prepared than we think because of what actually they are bringing over and the sleeper cells under strict instructions as to when to awaken.
Yeah, why have men stopped working out? Men need to start working out again.
Yeah, I agree.
So in my rugby team, so grassroots rugby in England and Wales is on its ass.
It is,
I am one of the young men on my team. At my age now, really, when I started playing rugby, at my age now, people would start like winding down. I'm 31 this month, and I'm one of the kids. I'm in a town of it's about 30,000 people in this sort of small area. We struggle to get one rugby side. All these men, they're wanking their lives away.
Yeah,
they are eating shitty food all the time. This is one of the things I hate about the Tommy rallies as well. Everyone's pissed. I don't mean angry; they're pissed. It's always a booze up. Do you know how useless you are to people when you're drunk?
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that the Muslims have got on us. They don't drink. Well, a lot of them actually do. But,
yeah.
They don't. And that's one of the things where they're organised. British men, stop wanking your lives away. Stop eating shit food. Go and play sports. Go work out. Stop drinking your lives. I don't know. I love the British pub's fantastic. It's such
Parliament.
It's like it used to be the old town square. That's where people go to speak. That's why they kept pubs closed for so long during COVID. But it's British men. We've become androgynized. We've become pussies, and you will see a lot of them. They'll tweet all their stuff, and then you look at them and you go, "You couldn't hurt a fly."
Yeah.
A man should be able to do some damage.
Yeah.
Not that he wants to, but every man should have a monster inside of him. A good man knows when to use it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think so many men now, they just don't have a monster inside them.
Yeah, I agree. And they need to be like, look, when it happens to a bloke who's either mother, girlfriend, sister, cousin, I don't care who it is, when it becomes, like when somebody's pregnant, right? You kind of, as the male, you're kind of set back from it. And then you sort of watch the baby grow, you can feel it kick in. You still don't feel completely like connected until it's burst. This is the same thing with men and that disconnect. And I'm not being rude because I totally get it, but it's only when you see a woman in danger, you see a woman hurting, that's when that kind of, rah, let's go, let's protect these women. It needs to be starting now. You need to be working out now. You need to be, sort of doing what you can, eating healthily, sort of running. I don't care what you do. We all need to stand together because what is happening is actually going to be happening on our doorsteps very, very soon. And I'm talking in an influx, not just sporadic here and there. And it is bloody frightening.
Well, it's because of rugby. I can't run anymore because my knees are shot. So...
You're brilliant in that 1973 Five Nations.
I know, mate. I know. I'm 51 now, so my running days are over, mate. I do miss the rugby. The camaraderie with the rugby boys is brilliant. You go on tour. There doesn't have to be a start. The rugby tours and all that. You're all together. You don't take no shit there. You don't get. You have a laugh and it's fun and it's jovial. There's never any fighting because they know if you mess with the rugby boys on tour, you're going to get your teeth kicked in basically. So they just get left alone.
But you know what, right? And this is one of the things that does worry me. So where I live, it's the big military area in the country. So a lot of the people on our rugby team are squaddies, and they're fat as fuck. I'm like, what? You should. If I ran the army, they'd be kicked out.
Yeah.
There'd be no fat people in the army. No, there should be no fat people in the police. No fat, and it's not about this. Bring back bullying. This body positivity stuff. No, it's just an excuse for being fucking fat and gay.
Right.
We need to bring.
You're hitting on something
like that. It brings accountability.
The demasculated males they have. That's what they.
This is the point, right? This is what they've done, right? So when they have allowed everybody to be, sort of trans, what they're trying to do is dumb down the army. So when it's been hollowed out, the army has been hollowed out because they have put kids on games, and like the gaming system has become so like incredibly kind of realistic that you're sat there just getting absorbed into it. You are literally becoming a slob, totally unfit, whilst you're just sat on your computer games, pretending that you're in a Call of Duty war, right? Then you have like the trans ideology, and everybody's allowed to be everybody, because yet again, they are dumbing down everybody so that when war does happen, there is nobody there. And it is people like you that needs to start telling people like us, we need to get off our asses, we need to start fighting for ourselves. We can't keep these. I'm sorry. Imagine if you had a trans person being called into war, right? With their nails and their hair, and they have to get ready before they go. Geez, I can't deal.
At that point, I switch sides. Nah, comrade.
Unless you're Scottish, go there with a kilt on.
Jesus, it's just. Oh my God, it's just mad, isn't it?
It's so sad to see. Like, that there's a lad at my gym, he's a good friend, and yeah, oh my God, right? This is how much shit he's eaten in the past. The stuff he would buy in Tesco's literally affected the deals they would run. So he would buy so much of things, it would affect the prices. And he was at the gym recently, and he was going upstairs and went, "Oh, are you off?" He went, "Yeah." And going, "Where you going, you fat fucker?" And he came back out and he did another workout, and he's actually now in great shape. And this is why I actually think, to a degree, and when I say bring back bullying, I don't actually mean ruin someone's life, they go and top themselves. But I think actually men especially, they do need that kind of male bullying accountability. We should be competing with all the men around us, one to find a mate, but like we should be here's one of the things, Rogue. Nearly every man that I know, and Richie could probably back this up. Whenever we see a new woman, our first thought is, would we or wouldn't we? And whenever we see a new bloke, it's, could we have him? That is literally one of the first thoughts we all have.
That's the animal instinct, isn't it? It's the animal instinct, isn't it? That's what it is. Yeah.
And I think men have stopped doing that.
Yeah. Do you remember that game? You remember that game in school? We used to play. I don't know if you're younger than me, but we used to play British Bulldog, right? Where basically, and basically you just run through each other and batter shit, just pile through each other, like, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't do it in schools anymore now because of health and safety, because you might hurt someone. I mean, what? I mean, you used to get battered and bruised. It was brilliant. Yeah. British Bulldogs, they forget PE in school. We're doing gymnastics and jumping through hoops and all, and spreading your legs and doing fucking yoga. Play British Bulldogs. That's a good clip. Put it on X.
Which my nephew. My nephew. He should be able to kick my head in. He's like twice the height of me. He would make an excellent second row in rugby.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pussy. I underarm throw him something, and he should. Law of nature says he should be able to kick my head in.
Yeah,
because he's bigger than me, but he can't, because he is one of these monkeys where, like you mentioned them, Richie, at break times and stuff. They don't let him play football now. So at his school, they don't let him play football.
That's ridiculous, man.
It's a little bit dangerous. Yeah, we used to play British Bulldog. It was amazing. It was basically speed tackling each other, and it was fantastic.
Each other. Yeah.
I mean, and that last person to get, you almost didn't want to be the last person. It's not going to end well.
I know. And the thing is, as well, you got all these professional footballers now. Like, you touch them and they're just diving over, and all that. I'm like, what? You pussy, get off the floor, like, you know what I mean? You've not been touched, like, what's the matter with you? I mean, we're demasculating men, turning them out to be like effeminate and all that kind of stuff. It's not helped this country at all, like, it really hasn't, like, because the whole thing, like real men, where are the real men? I mean, the First, Second World War, we had men who worked on the mines, the pits, the coal mines, the steel industry. They grafted hard, but they went and fought for king and country at the time, because they believed in what they were doing. And what have we got now? Like, we got a bunch of. What was that?
The original Great Reset.
Yeah, well,
yeah, all the strong men of Europe to go kill each other.
Absolutely.
Women today are more of a warrior than our present male population. Have you not seen me in my?
It's because they got penises.
Some of them have got bigger dicks, to be honest with you.
There we go.
I'm only 5'7" and it's cold.
Well, that PMQs went a different way today. That's all I can say. Anyway, we've ended up talking about all sorts. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's great. Thank you for watching. Stay on as well.
Do you know? I just want to quickly go back to this actually, because I want to talk about what Silver Surf is saying and about children. So of Muslim children, they are taught very, very, very early on to be open and receptive to trauma. So they can see the killings of the animals with the halal. And if you see how that happens, I don't want anybody to clip that, so I'm going to do that carefully. So you see that, and these children are going to become immune to trauma, immune to blood, immune to death, right? So they are being trained underground. They're being trained. There are tunnels and there are gyms under the mosques that are being created. So they are ready and they are prepared. And then you have, children like 7-year-olds are trained to carry planks of wood with 6-inch nails to take out your knees. There are a lot of things that the children are being taught at the moment. And that is where they are pushing this kind of movement, is the children are learning at this age. What are we doing with our children at the ages of 6 and 7?
Should be taking them to a boxing gym. That should be taking them, teaching them to box and fight properly, the legal way. That's what they should be doing. With my kids, I try. It's like I got 5, right? I took them to rugby. Didn't take rugby, boxing, karate. They didn't last at all. They got bored quickly, right? Because they're ADHD, whatever. But if you got children, I'd recommend to take them to those places. Because what you do there is you learn respect as well. Rugby is one of the most respectful games and the hardest games you can play, right? You can have a battle on the field. You shake hands afterwards. You buy each other a pint. You know the score, Callum. Your best of mates in the pub. You batter each other on the field. It's a gentleman's sport,
and you're laughing about it afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I was in a scrum once, right? I'd play second row, right? Some guy got all of my nuts and squeezed them, mate. I tell you, I've never felt pain like it in my life, mate. Honestly, they were purple for weeks, mate.
Every maul, my hand goes hunting, and then I look at the guys.
I'm singing up a bracket for about 6 months.
I think every man needs to be, as a rite of passage, needs to have been punched in the face. I think you learn so much through being punched in the face. but you learn boundaries. You learn where your position is. You learn. You learn to become a man. I think getting punched in the face. And so
I've had quite a few of those.
They've not been punched, and they're now adults. And that's the entitled generation we got. You basically you bloody Lib Dem voters, the ones that sit on the fence with everything, like, oh no, be nice. No, I think every man should have been punched at some point in their upbringing. Not by an adult, but
yeah.
They should have taken
like a good scrap in the school playing ground. It was brilliant, like scrap. I was running out and all to see the fight and all that. Like, it was great.
I do want to tap into one thing before we kind of round up in a minute, right? And that is the toxic masculine. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not pointing fingers, right? Because look, when men leave the household and they are no longer there for their children, and you have these single mums who are having to be the feminine energy and having to protect their children, and then have to step into that masculine domain. We're not. I was a single mum. I am a single mum, right? So when you have that male and female, the men are causing us to be more masculine because they are not there. And then you have the children who suffer because the men leave. And then the children are suffering, and they're not going to get those punches in the faces because that mother, that nurture and, within me, and that maternal part of me would never punch my child in the face. So as a man to man, you'd do that, you know, with your sons and you know, your uncles. But unfortunately, when you have this relationship breakdown, when you have the males that leave and you have that toxic masculinity, it is now part of a generational curse, because this is what they wanted to do. They are putting more pressure. The government is putting more pressure on families to go to work. The arguments are kicking off. You know, you've got to find all of this money to pay just to live. The rat race is real. And so whilst we're talking about, come on, men, stand up, we've got my son, you know, who is desperate for a male role figure, just would love that. But I've had to do it by myself, and I have had to try and be that. And then sometimes he gets a bit rough with me, and I'm like, geez, I haven't got that in me to do that with you. So the point is, we need to be fixing our families. We need to be fixing the families so that they are no longer breaking down, that we have a mom and a dad that are actually, you know, living comfortably. So like you said, we need to work on like the financial aspect of things. But this is the whole idea, is that everything breaks down so that when we are then looking to them and saying, okay, 2030 agenda, we can't do this anymore. Hands up, we're done. We're exhausted.
One of the common denominators with violent crime offenders is growing up without a dad.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They don't learn those boundaries, which often it is the dad that sets. You know, it's not sexism and all that, but the female, the mother, is the more nurturing one. They are usually the more caring. They are the caregiver.
Yeah.
Which, you know, when some go, oh, that's just sexist. No, that's a great role to have.
The
male tends to be the disciplinarian. And I was actually talking to a friend the other day about the whole because we were talking about there's so many problems with domestic abuse and that now. I actually think taxation has a lot to do with domestic abuse, because I think the household now is so tense because of their financial situation that things boil over, and then it spills into sometimes violence or the breakdown. I mean, go back, you know, to our granddad's age. He could, on a single income, buy a house, raise a family, have a car, go on holiday. Now, with houses now, I mean, I've got a good income, but I can't buy a house. I physically cannot get a house. Because one of the things is, if I have to declare everything, suddenly I get a huge tax bill and I can't buy a house anyway. I think taxation has a lot to do with the breakdown of most things in civil society.
Yeah, well, they want the breakdown of the family unit, and it's always been part of the plan, isn't it, really? Because there's stability, strength, and everything that comes with it, and morals, and all the things that make a country great. You know, we call them Western values, but they're good human values, really, aren't they? And if you break that down and people are isolated away from each other, I mean, you remember back in the day, man, all of my family lived on one street, right up in the Bryn. My aunties, my uncles, my grandmother, we all lived on the same street. Like, you know, it was like our own community. You don't find that anymore. People are living in isolated, you know, flats, apartments, and, you know, they're scared to come out. They've got CCTV cameras outside their houses. They're paranoid. They hear a car pass. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? Whereas before, you hear a car pass and you think, oh, let's go and see it is. It might be Uncle so-and-so, or, you know, whatever it was. You know, society itself, people have become so paranoid. They're living under fear because of the propaganda that's coming out there, that everything's doom and gloom. Everyone's turned into alarmists instead of addressing the problem, saying, okay, if there's an issue, let's hit it face on, let's go and sort it out, man on man, like we used to. When we had problems in the past, right, I remember there was a place I used to drink called the Deneva Pub, or the Circles International, or the Barbican, right? If you had a dispute with somebody in a pub, an argument over something, right, and it came to fisting, you didn't do it inside. There was a lane that used to go down, and it happened every weekend. There was always a fight there. If you wanted free entertainment, you didn't have to pay a ticket, right? You just go down. I had one or two. I got my nose broke twice there, right? You just go down there, and it's man, and you don't get pylons. There's loads of people watching. It's one-on-one. And when you finish the fight, if you get beaten, you're blooded all over. You get up, you shake the guy's hand and say, fair play, mate, you won the argument. And we walked away, and the next week we bought each other a pint. That's how we used to do it. I'm not saying we should, you know, go on beating people. I'm not saying that. But that was the manly thing you did. If you had a problem, I mean, get in a boxing ring, do it for charity. I remember Matthew Stadland on GB News calling me out, so I and Adam Brooks as well. We said to him, okay, let's do a charity boxing match then. We'll give the money to children. We'll get it all sorted. We get in a boxing ring. This is over politics, I suppose, right? And then because we were arguing online, and let's do that. And he pussied out. He pussied out because he's a pussy. Simple as that.
I'd
Can you imagine politicians doing that? So instead of debating in the House of Commons, have a boxing match and give the money to charity, to a children's charity or to a cancer charity. Why don't you do that then? Get in a boxing ring. I'd love to see Keir Starmer. Have you seen him punching a bag? Oh my God, he's like a pussy.
Lord Ali is Lord Ali, isn't he?
I just want to ask everybody that's watching this, if you can just go onto Rogue Unfiltered on X and share this live, because we need to get this live out. It's been a really good, an interesting live. So we need to get everything out
as well. I've got to show people as well before we do. So,
bring back dueling. I'd be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. That's what they did back in the old days. You know, if you had a problem, yeah, absolutely. So just to let you know, folks, we've got a big event happening on the 25th. Let me take these comments off. I hate it when this happens. Let me just turn this off a minute. We got a big event happening on the 25th of April in London, Edinburgh and Cardiff. We're going to be at the Cardiff one right outside the Senedd. That's the Welsh Parliament. Save this date, Saturday, 25th of April. It's going to be a rally against digital ID, net zero, and supporting our farmers as well. So there's going to be hopefully thousands of us there. We were there for the vaccine passports and everything else. So please, those of you who were there before, make an effort to get there. We're going to have loads of speakers, big screens out there, and we're going to be lobbying our MSs in the Senedd to say no to digital ID. We know it's going through, but we can still fight back. It's not too late. And in London as well, Edinburgh, check out the Together Association. You can find out more about that. We got some events coming up ourselves as well that we're hosting here on behalf of them. So please keep an eye out for that. Also, don't forget, we're supporting Andrew Bridgen, who is doing an event on March the 6th.
This is Friday.
This Friday up in Leeds. We're going to be there, myself and Rogue. We're going to be covering it on the Richie Rogue show. We're going to be interviewing them as well. And yeah, he's going to be talking about all the stuff that he's been fighting for on the vaccine harms and everything else and the corruption of the deep state. So make sure you put that in your diary. We're going to be there. And don't forget, we're back every single Tuesday as well with Welsh Politics, not covering just PMQs, but FMQs as well. We couldn't do this week, but we'll be doing next week. So make sure you tune in. We'll be doing that. Our team will be putting together a program for that. So yeah, so our schedule is growing massively, Rogan.
It is.
Live kind of. I know.
With our schedule comes a beautiful team that are actually supporting us. So we would just like to acknowledge our team and say thank you so much for all the support that you give to us. You make this program happen.
Absolutely,
so thank you.
Absolutely. And thanks to Callum. Callum, we're definitely going to be covering the May's election. Now, obviously, the cycle is going to start very soon. Candidates are going to be announced in April. So we're going to have to hook up. We're going to do some lives from outside the Senedd. We're going to line up a couple of interviews with some Welsh Conservative MSs. Labour MSs won't come on our show, I don't think, but they're welcome. They're more than welcome to put their side of the debate on here. Some of the Reform guys as well stand in. Plaid Cymru probably won't come on either. Might be able to get one or two. I don't know if I can work the magic, but we shall see. But hopefully we'll get as many interviews as you can. If we can't, you can, because you can get your microphone straight in front of their faces, and we can get them on the show.
I'll push you forward. Go, Cal, go, Cal.
So yeah, we're going to be covering that because it's going to be massive for Wales. I mean, everyone's focusing on the geopolitical stuff right now and what's happening nationally, but I'm telling you, this May election here in Wales is going to be huge. It's going to have a huge impact for the people of Wales. And so, yeah, and there's a lot more happening as well. We're launching a couple of things.
Will bring down Starmer.
You know what?
Yeah.
And that's what I think will bring down Starmer.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, May election is massive. I think Labour's going to come third anyway. I think Plaid at the moment the tip to win. You got your bet in there, mate. You're all right. You're safe for that.
Well, you know, people were saying, because some people at the gym I was talking to about this as well, and they're like, "Oh, you're not concerned because he's not gone?" I was like, "No, it's all part of the storyline. He's got to be embarrassed in the by-election, and then come May, he'll get obliterated. Then replace him." And
absolutely.
But I'm gonna go to Wales, Italy, and cheer on the Italians on the 14th. Italia.
That's the last time you come in on the show.
Don't be so rude.
You supported the Italians against the Welsh, you mad?
No, listen. People are allowed to support who they want.
No, they're not. Not when it comes to rugby. It's Wales, right? We're shit as it is. We need as much support as we can get. I know. You should be supporting us. I support you. We'll have to go to a rugby match together, mate. I'd love that. That'd be great. We're going to home game down the Millennium Stadium. I'll try and get some tickets.
Yeah, we'll have to go on the one of the URC games before they get rid of two, because they're still getting rid of two provinces in Wales.
Yeah, they are. The WRU, mate, they've screwed the rugby. You know, grassroots rugby in Wales has absolutely been decimated, right? So I'm going back 20 years ago when I was playing. We were being paid 30 quid a game, right? I mean, it doesn't sound much, 30 quid a game, and I was semi-professional, right? I weren't that good, right? But now, grassroots level, they get no money whatsoever. There's no investment at all. Absolutely zero. Zilch. They get nothing. So all these small clubs, like where you are on in England, are folding, and they're kind of like merging. And we're not producing any good rugby players because there's no grassroots kind of investment. So when it comes to international level, a lot of people from Wales have to go to academies in England to become better rugby players. I mean, I don't know what it's like in England, but in Wales, mate, it's even worse. We haven't had a decent team here since the 70s, 80s, some of the 90s. We were brilliant, right? We were the only team in town, right? Wales, in that respect. Look at Llanelli Scarlets, right? We were phenomenal. We got one of the beautiful stadium. We barely get 4,000 people in there, mate. It is embarrassing. All that waste of money. I'm talking rugby now, and I'm going off script.
Yeah, I don't get why they're not targeting schools. Like,
Exactly. We weren't allowed to play football in our school. It was banned. It was seen as an Englishman's sport. It was racist. Literally, if you saw football posted at school anywhere in Wales,
it's and again, this kind of goes back to the whole masculinity thing.
Yeah.
Boys aren't playing contact sports anymore, and schools in the state are allowing it.
Yeah,
exactly
that. Welsh rugby, really.
I mean, what Keir Starmer's just allowing bloody anything. Isn't
Keir Starmer's
he loves a good contact sport, doesn't he? In the old ball,
especially the Ukrainian.
Dirty boy.
I know, right?
Right, I need a coffee. Our time's up.
Thank you so much,
Cheers,
Callum, for coming on. It's been great having you on, having that different perspective and having that little bit of rage.
Absolutely.
So take it easy. Yes, let's go.
Cheers, mate.
And we just take care.
Have a good one. Oh, ta-da. Right.
I just want to thank.
Have you gone to all these?
There's so many. I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you for super chats.
Can I please say the crap word? I can't say the word because it's censored. On your doorstep. I like the smell. Listen, the original Joe, you have been so kind to us today. You have gifted some memberships to people. You have gifted.
I don't know how people do it though.
I don't know how do people accept these memberships? I don't know how people do it. So if you could explain that to me, that would be superb. If anybody hasn't accepted one of the memberships, then please accept it. I don't know if it just gives that. I don't know how it works. But anyway.
If you join as a member, we're going to be doing members only lives as well, where it's going to be like, kind of really open discussion where you can come on the panel as well and ask any personal questions as well. Not too personal, but you know what I mean. So it's more intimate as well. So we're going to be doing some of those. There'll be some members only videos as well we're going to be doing. And of course, we're developing some things here in Wales we'll talk about in the future. I'm sure Rogue will mention that at some point. The light's just gone off, unpaid electric, or we've been invaded by Iran, I don't know. But anyway, thank you ever so much, folks, everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And
thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Tonight. We're back with David Atherton tonight. We're going to be covering a lot of things. I've got a lot of work to do between then and now, clipping videos and images and getting ready for the stories tonight. What are we discussing tonight then, Rogue?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know. We're just doing a recap, aren't we? Going on with what's been happening, and we're getting Dave Atherton's take on everything, because I think it's...
So we need to know what the top 5 stories today is.
Nikki?
So we'll do that. Nikki, get on to that. We'll be brilliant. Yeah, we'll be covering that tonight. We have lots of fun with that. And David Atherton's a wonderful guy, very knowledgeable as well. He's got a lot to say on what's been going on with Iran. I'm sure he'll give us a different perspective as well. So please set your notifications, hit that bell on the page you're watching on YouTube, wherever you're watching from. And don't forget, if you'd like to leave a small donation, go to Buy Me a Coffee. It's on our website, or you can scan the QR code. I don't know where it is, or anything like that. Every bit of support goes to help supporting the channel, and we appreciate every single one of you. We love you, and thank you very much for being with us again today.
We'll see you later at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I need to turn the comments off before you go.
I'm going to. Thank you very much.
Take
care from him
and
me. Goodbye. Have a great day.